You're watching Al Jazeera. A reminder of our top story. Government forces have stepped up their attack on the Libyan town of AlJazeera. Rebel fighters had claimed victory there after clashes with Gaddafi forces earlier. At least 30 people were killed, most of them civilians. Rebel fighters are on the move towards the Libyan town of Sirte, the heavily guarded hometown of Muammar Gaddafi. They're traveling from the key oil port of Ras Lanuf, where they managed to drive out government loyalists. And in Benghazi, funerals have been held for those killed in a blast at a weapons depot. More than 17 people are thought to have died. To Somalia now, where African Union peacekeepers and government troops are claiming some success against al-Shabaab fighters. The joint forces say they've captured key positions in the north of the capital, Mogadishu. Commanders say they're also now in control of Beled Hawa on the Kenyan border. Dozens of fighters are reported to have been killed in hours of gun battles. But the African Union is also paying a heavy price. It's thought more than 50 peacekeepers have been killed in the past 2 weeks.
Troops from the Burundi contingent provided support to the TFG forces to capture two key grounds, which are the former Ministry of Defense building, Gashandiga, which I referred to, and the milk factory. Gashandiga previously served as the extremist major operational and logistic base.
The peacekeeping force in Côte d'Ivoire is said to be reinforced by 2,000 soldiers and 2 combat helicopters. They're being drafted in as a political standoff between rival presidential claimants Laurent Gbagbo and Alassane Ouattara shows no sign of being resolved. Some of the fiercest fighting happened in a suburb of Abidjan on Thursday, when at least 6 female demonstrators were killed. Joining us now from London is Roger Lowe. He's the chairman of GRAPPA PDCI, a think tank focusing on Côte d'Ivoire. Thanks for joining us. The violence between these rival factions seems to be worsening. Are we reaching a tipping point now where this could escalate into a full-scale civil war?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Alan. We can't say that we nearly get to a civil war, but I will just deny that because as I know my people, I'm sure that at some stage they will get together and have a talk. They will sit down on a table and have a proper, peaceful talk. Because what is happening now in Ivory Coast is not, the killing doesn't come from President Ouattara, because Alassane Ouattara said, as he said, if something have to be done, it have to come from United Nations, what we call a force that will be put together by ECOWAS, that will be a legitimate force. What is happening now, I think, is 2 camps who are fighting. A camp from Gbagbo and another camp that come from other people who think that they have to get rid of Gbagbo themselves. Then Alassane camp is proclaiming that only thing they want to do is just to make sure that Gbagbo leave the power, concede power peacefully. And we talk, they are being helped by, the United Nations,
okay,
the African Union, and the international community.
Well, he hasn't shown an inclination to do that so far. There is another diplomatic initiative from the African Union, which takes place in a few days. Alassane Ouattara said he is going to that meeting, which will be taking place in Ethiopia, but it's unlikely that Gbagbo will go to that meeting. Is this latest initiative going to prove to be more successful than the previous ones?
That I said to you before, 2 months ago, I said that I had a faith where the 2 leaders will sit down and have a talk. Now, you see, Alassane Ouattara, the President Alassane Ouattara is willing to have a talk with Gbagbo Laurent. Gbagbo, what he's waiting for will be just, he wants some guarantee, but I'm sure, definitely sure that he will be on that table.
Is it likely that this case could be, like the Libyan case, referred to the International Criminal Court? And is there a role for the court in this?
The ICC is looking at the situation in Ivory Coast. Gbagbo knows that most of the killing come from his part. So he's wondering a bit if he have to make a move and he doesn't know what will happen to him. But definitely, if it's Gbagbo who is making those killings, people need to look at it. No one have to escape from what is happening in Ivory Coast. As you can see, even 2 days ago, there was a lot of killing. Woman was just asking to Gbagbo to just concede power peacefully, but what he did just is people have to shoot them. You know, so this kind of thing, I think ICC need to look at it seriously.
Okay, Mr. Lowe, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us. US President Barack Obama is using a drop in the unemployment rate to amplify his call for Republicans in Congress to pass a budget and avoid a government shutdown in 2 weeks' time. For more on that, let's cross to Daljit Dalawal at our Washington News Center. Daljit.
Anand, thank you very much. Now, when it comes to public spending, Democrats and Republicans are poles apart. But in his weekly address, Barack Obama said that he will compromise, but not if it jeopardizes economic recovery.
We need to come together, Democrats and Republicans, around a long-term budget that sacrifices wasteful spending without sacrificing the job-creating investments in our future. My administration's already put forward specific cuts that meet congressional Republicans halfway, and I'm prepared to do more. But we'll only finish the job together by sitting at the same table, working out our differences, and finding common ground.
And the president made that address from a Florida classroom, a state with one of the highest number of people out of work. And while there are signs that the Sunshine State's economy is recovering, that doesn't feel that way somehow for people who are struggling to find work. Kimberly Halkett has more from Miami.
2011 hasn't been a good year for Gabriel Martinez. 2 months ago, this corporate operations manager and father of 2 young children lost his job. After weeks of scanning openings at this Florida job center and sending out resumes, he still hasn't found work.
I don't see things turning around like that. I don't see it. I don't feel it. I mean, if I say I've applied in the last 2 months for over 200 positions, I don't think I'm exaggerating. And I haven't gotten a single call back, an opportunity for an interview.
The Bureau of Economic Research officially declared the U.S. recession over in 2009, but the job markets remain flat. Roughly 9% of Americans are looking for work. In Florida, it's 12%. Only California and Nevada fare worse. Currently, more than 1 million Floridians are unemployed. But after years of dismal financial forecasts, economists are once again optimistic.
We're on our way out of what's been a very deep hole.